Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. On today's episode of the Medium's Table, I would like to welcome back long-time friend, Dawn Gallagher.
Woohoo, thank you so much. I'm back again. You're not bored of me yet?
Not yet. No. So many stories.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
It is.
When you think about how it's mad. As you get older, you tend to forget things. But then once I'm kind of like started with stuff, my God, it's almost like I can pull things out of like a hard drive, if you like, and remember this, that, and the other. But yeah, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. So yeah, life is funny. Life is really funny.
Yeah, but all the best stories come out, and they always do. They always do in divine timing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, true.
And they'll always have an impact on someone out there that needs to hear them. That's what's most important.
I hope so, because, you know, even if we just have one person, then you've done your job, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
That's exactly
100%.
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what have you got for us today? I'm always nervous because I never know from each interview to the next. It's always a secret.
I know. God, it's quite scary for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Walking by the seat of your pants. God. Well, okay, so I realised that we've never actually spoken about what I actually do.
We have not.
You know what I do.
Yeah.
But the listeners do not know what I do.
No.
So what am I? So I'm what I class as a spiritual medium.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that I work with spirits, so people who have died. And I also work with beings, spiritual beings, people who maybe have beings who have never been born, if you like. But they are in the spirit world, the spirit realm. Mm-hmm. So I communicate with them. So I talk to dead people and I talk to spiritual beings. We communicate with each other. So that's what I do. Or that's what I am, should I say. What do I do? So I give readings to people. So when people go to see is that a different conversation? So when people want to hear from their loved ones, they would come to somebody like me, a spiritual medium or a clairvoyant medium or clairaudient medium, all that kind of like terminology. It's the same thing, basically. It's just different skills that you're using to actually hear the dead people. They come to me, I will give them a reading. They go away, hopefully a happier person. And that they have closure. But I also teach and I also work as a trance medium as well. So what that means is that I achieve a deeper state of consciousness, so an altered state of consciousness, should I say, and spirit beings or spirit guides, guardians, whatever you want to call them, step forward and put words into my mouth, if you like, and I speak what they want to be spoken of. So that's quite an when you hear somebody in trance speaking words that you know that person wouldn't have the capacity to say what is being spoken of, you can feel the love in what's being said. You can feel the energy. You can feel the frequency. It's an incredible thing to experience. But also what I'm playing with at the moment is, you know, I'm always trying to push myself, and I'm thinking, okay, it's very nice hearing from spiritual beings. And this is where my spirit team and you probably go, oh dear God, what's she going to say now? And it is very nice hearing from them, but why can't your dead grandmother come through, or your dead friend, and speak through you as not? So it's not me changing my voice to sound like them or anything. It's nothing like that. But words are spoken, which are their words, which should resonate with you and should make total sense with you. So, for instance, the first time I did it, I was in this group, and the first time I did it, where it was somebody's family member coming through rather than a spirit guide, and it was his mum and his grandmother, and he was Welsh, and I felt Welsh. I'm English, but I felt Welsh, which is a strange concept to try and put over. Obviously, Michelle, you're from Australia. You're not going to understand the difference between Welsh people and English people. But Welsh people are very, very clannish.
Right.
And family is everything, you know, and it's them against the English historically and the Celts, you know, all that kind of stuff. But that's how I felt. I felt very clannish when it was his mum coming through. And he asked of them a question. So they answered. So they were speaking, and his nan was saying, we'll have a cuppa next time, you know, we'll put the kettle on. And she was just saying stuff, which to me didn't really seem like it was profound wisdom or anything like that. You know, it was just like normal stuff. We'll put the kettle on, we'll do this, and, you know, your da is here, because Welsh people say da instead of dad.
Yeah,
in England, we say dad, they say da. And I spoke that, but I've never said that in my life. So anyway, when I kind of like came to, he just went, wow. And I went, really? I went, yeah. He said, wow. He said, and the question that I asked you, nobody knows that. And I went, oh, what was it? Because I couldn't remember what was being said. And he went, oh, I can't tell you that. I'm like, are you kidding me? He said, no, I can't tell you. He said, but you've cleared up a family secret that nobody could clear up. And I'm like, shut up. You've got to tell me. He's like, no, I can't. I cannot tell you.
No.
So it's just like one of those on the edge of the seat moments. And I explained to him how I felt, how Welsh I felt. And he was saying, you had what was they were saying was stuff they would say on a normal basis, which meant so much to him because he had seen them say these things. It resonated with them. It's not something that I could have replicated because it wasn't my mind that was making these words up. These words were being placed into my mind, and I spoke them as I would be their grandmother, his mother, whatever. So that's what I'm playing with at the moment, and it's a lovely experience because when you historically go for a mediumship reading where you want to connect with your dead family, it can feel quite cold.
Yeah.
You go there and people tell you before the reading, don't tell them anything, you know, and don't show them your Facebook, because obviously they're going through your whole Facebook to find out who's dead and all these things. So when people historically come for a reading, they're very closed off. Their energy is closed off. For anybody to have a successful mediumship reading or a trance mediumship reading, your heart needs to be open.
Yeah.
It's not about telling the medium anything, but you need to go into it with your heart completely open. You know, putting in your mind, you know, I'd love to hear from my dad. I'd love to hear from my granddad or grandma or whatever. You know, that is how you open up your heart. And then you just allow the medium to do their job as well. So this takes that to a different level, though, completely different level.
Mm.
So that's why I actually love it. And, for years I've been drawn to working in trance, or an altered state of consciousness, we call it now. And this is a combination of all workshops and courses I've taken. And yeah, I'm just going to see where the next thing takes us. But, as well as being a medium, I teach as well.
Yeah.
And I love teaching. I absolutely love teaching. So I teach workshops and I teach courses. I just love the whole teaching thing as well, because I work differently. So I know a lot of the teachers that I've been taught with, they have a full curriculum set up, and they've put hours and hours and hours and hours into it, which is brilliant. And then I turn up. I have no idea what's going to be taught. I don't know what the curriculum is. I don't know what the topic for that workshop is. Well, I know the topic, but I don't know how it's going to play out. I've got no prior knowledge, because it's not me who does the teaching. It's my spirit team.
Yeah.
So they will put information into my mind, almost like a download, a bit like the Matrix. I don't think you've ever seen the Matrix, have you?
No, I haven't. No, probably the only person in the world. But anyway,
yeah, probably. But basically, they plug into the back of your head this jack, if you like, USB thing, and you get a download of information. So that's kind of how I work. So I sit there and I go, right, guys, this is what we're going to do today. As I'm saying that, my team are downloading the information that I need to say to the people who are on the course or the workshop. So it's instantaneous, and it's direct teaching from spirit.
Yeah.
It's not me teaching it. It's them who are teaching it. And when the students are asking me questions, I'm getting the download, I'm getting the answer from my spirit team. So I don't take the credit. I do tell them, look, it's not me teaching you, it's them teaching you. But I'm very happy, because they've got all the knowledge and all the wisdom going.
Yeah.
To allow them to do that. So it's a different way of teaching.
So you're kind of like the puppet, and they're the master.
Yeah, in a sense, but I'm happy to do that. Intrinsically, I'm lazy. There's no way on God's earth I would put in 40 hours to just run a bloody course. Not a chance. Yeah. So I'm deferring to the masters who know what needs to be taught, when it needs to be taught, and how it needs to be taught. So I've got full trust in them, and I deliver it because of the downloads that they give in my mind. And then I just speak what I see, what I feel, what I hear, and it just comes out my mouth. So it's very, very natural way of teaching, I think. Yeah. It works for me anyway.
Yeah. Do you take anyone? Do you only take people who are experienced in this? Do you take students that are from beginner to intermediate, advanced? Where is your teaching on that?
So I can take anybody from beginners to advanced. Again, because it's my spirit team who are doing the teaching. So you could come along, you're quite advanced, and you could say to me, okay, Dawn, I want to learn such and such. I personally may not know that.
Yeah.
But I'll go, okay, let's give it a go. And I say to my team in my mind, this is what she needs. And I'll get a download. So it's as simple as that. Obviously, I do have my own knowledge as well. So it's not just all them. Yeah. But I defer to their greater wisdom, their greater knowledge in a lot of things. So yeah. So now I can teach anybody, absolutely anybody. And it's been an incredible journey. I absolutely love teaching. I love talking. You might have noticed. But I never shut up. Really? Gosh, you do surprise me. No, I never shut up, Michelle. And I seriously get bored of listening to myself sometimes, because I'm so funny. or I think I am anyway.
You are, and
but
you're a natural storyteller. You are a natural storyteller, and you are funny.
I love telling stories, love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason I'm like that, you have to look at your own family kind of dynamics, if you like. So I grew up, there was 5 girls in my family, myself and my sisters, and really strong personalities, all of us. My stepdad was from Newcastle, and he was a very, very funny man. So Newcastle is a place in England. And my mum was from Liverpool and we were from Liverpool.
Mm.
So again, people in Liverpool are very naturally funny because they're always trying to get one up on what's being said. It's comical.
Yeah.
And you've got to be sharp. You've got to be top dog. So there's always that competitiveness as to who's got the best comeback.
Yeah.
So growing up in that, and you can have 6 or 7 different conversations going on at once.
Yeah.
And you're having this conversation with, say, somebody else, but you're hearing the other conversation and you're throwing a wisecrack at them and then continuing on your conversation. So that's kind of like how I grew up.
Yeah.
So you had to think on your feet.
Yeah.
Very, very much had to think on your feet. And yeah, it shapes who you are, most definitely.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I could grow up with an ego because my family would just not let it happen.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have an ego because they would pull you down as quick as you like with just one little wisecrack and you think, oh dear God.
Yeah.
How did I ever think I was going to get away with that?
Yeah.
Just incredible. In fact, it's really funny. Last night I attended my sister's 60th party.
Mm.
And my cousins were there and my uncle was there. And God, it was free for all. It was carnage, absolute carnage, because they're so savage.
Yeah.
Absolutely savage. And you can't feel sorry for yourself when you've got that much savage humor, keeping it real, keeping you grounded. So,
yeah.
So that's why I am who I am. They've shaped me, which is brilliant.
Yeah. Wow. So what can someone expect to learn on your course? Is it a mixture of psychic mediumship? Do you teach like what you know, or do you only just teach certain things?
Mm-hmm. So in any development, you start off with your foundation. And your foundation is a psychic, development, if you like, how to develop on a psychic level. So for people who don't know what that is, if we meet somebody and we think, I don't like this person, I don't like the vibe they're giving off, what you're actually doing is you're feeling their energy, the person's energy. Your energy is connecting with their energy, a bit like 2 balloons pressing together. And it rebounds off, and you have felt part of their energy and not liked what that person is about, an aspect of that person. That's psychic energy. When you walk into a room and there's people in there and they've probably had an argument, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. That's psychic energy. So when you go to people who do tarot cards or, I don't know, crystal balls or read your palm, what they're actually doing is they're using those items as a tool to read your energy. So it's for them to focus on. So I could read this pen. Because I could look at it and I could think, okay, and I'm thinking about Michelle. What can I pick up on from Michelle? And all I'm picking up on, I don't know whether this makes sense for you or not, Michelle, is toe-curdling screams.
Toe-curdling screams.
Yeah, screams. So for me, I can literally feel my toes curling up as well. And it's almost like horror films. I'm literally hanging on for dear life. Does that resonate with you?
I do love a good horror film. I do.
See, I don't. I can't cope with them.
Oh, no, I love a good horror film. And it's got to be something that's got to keep me on the edge of my seat and with my eyes like, they're like beacons in the night.
Yeah, not good, not good. But that's what I was feeling. It was just like that.
Yeah.
So that was your energy. Your energy I was picking up on, not the pen.
Yeah,
the pen was irrelevant. That was my tool to use to focus on to read your energy. So that's just like a snippet. It's not like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's what psychics do. That's what a psychic reading is. So yes, I teach that. So that's your foundation. Okay. And then from that, you then develop to mediumship, to working with spirits. So psychic is working with your own spirit and the other people's, their spirit, their energy, their aura. Mediumship is working with people in the spirit world. And then from then on, there's all different aspects of mediumship. It's not just one genre, if you like.
Yeah.
A bit like, music. There's so many different aspects to it.
Yeah.
That you can teach a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of this. And then people will naturally gravitate towards what they feel more comfortable with. And then you can then go on and then teach them to an advanced level. So anybody can come. If you think, I'll never be able to do it. Anybody can do it. They genuinely can. But most people who come into this life have had experiences that they can't explain. So they're looking to be taught development, discipline. And that's where people like me come in and teach them and hopefully have a great time, meet brilliant people.
Yeah.
And start them on their journey, because they wouldn't stay with me till the end.
Yeah.
They may feel, right, Dawn's taught me all that that I feel resonates with me. I'm going to find somebody else. That's normal. That's natural to do that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Have you ever had a student come in that would may not be able to do mediumship, for example, and you'd sort of think, all right, they're just best staying with psychic? Does that happen? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is. But is it possible? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Because maybe the student isn't open to developing any further. It's the limitations that the student puts on themselves, not the limitations of working with spirit.
Right.
The possibilities of working with spirit are endless. But if somebody feels comfortable only working at a psychic level, then that's absolutely fine as well, because there is certainly a reason for going for a psychic reading. It could be for guidance over stuff that's going on in your life, which a psychic would be able to pick up on.
Yeah.
Could be issues with family or friends or work issues, and they give advice and guidance as to how to kind of resolve that. But I have to say, if you've gone for a psychic reader and you've got the guidance, you have to put in place things which are going to change the situation that you're in. You can't expect going for a psychic reading to fix it for you. It won't.
Yeah.
It's like going to somebody for some good, sound, solid advice, and then you completely ignore it and continue on what you're doing anyway. So you have to kind of go, okay, well, it is good advice or not, because again, it might not resonate with you, because not every psychic is able to click with every person too. There are limitations to that. But the limitation is definitely within the person. It's not within the abilities that are able to be taught and learned.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, right. Wow. Awesome. Well, Dawn, thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome.
For coming on the show. Now, where can people find you to learn more or inquire about your courses and what you teach? And can they, probably a big one is, can they book you to teach them one-on-one?
Oh, a mentorship. Yes, absolutely. Completely forgot about that. There's so many kind of like strings to my bow. Yes, so I do private mentoring as well. So always a good one to do. No, I love working one-to-one as well because you can really, gosh, you can, sorry, I'm just thinking of, you can really see their development and you bring, you connect with them and you have such a rapport with them and build them up and they develop and you can see their skills coming on. It's always fab to see. So so mentorships as well I do. So they can contact me. God, I completely go off in different directions.
It's all good.
Time, don't I?
That's why it's unexpected when you're on here.
I know. I'm so sorry, Shell.
There's no need to apologise.
You must pray to your spirit team. Go, please, not speak about something really bad or unexpected. Don't throw me a curveball. So getting back to it, so they can contact me by email at dawngallacher@hotmail.co.uk, or they can contact me on Facebook. So just send me a message. I'm listed under Dawn Gallagher. Send me a message and we'll chat and we'll go from there. But either way, get in touch.
Fantastic. And you are a brilliant teacher. So for anyone listening or watching, do reach out to Dawn. She is fantastic, wonderful, and you will learn. Well, you've heard her speak. What can I say? That's what you're in for.
So my inbox is empty. There's no email. There's no. They're thinking, oh my God, no way.
Oh, look out. Thank you once again, Dawn. It's always a pleasure. And we will have you back on the show very shortly.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you, Michelle. Take care.
You're welcome. Thank you. To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Medium's Table Podcast.